great information over to you. So please hang with us as we talk about the new composable architecture. We're going to be talking a lot about Creatio 8.0.6 overview, some of the new marketplace apps that we've launched today, as well as have a deep dive session for customers and partners on Creatio 8.0.6. So I hope you're ready. Catherine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jason. If someone told us in 2019 that within the coming 3 years, humanity will experience 2 years of a global pandemic, massive social and political movements, the biggest war since the World War II, end of the world globalization, actually, and shift into the separated societies, numerous protests around the world, and finally the markets crash and economic slowdown. It would be hard to believe that all this could have happened just within 3 years. The pace of events has accelerated like we've never seen before. And scientists predict that in 20 years from now, the rate of change will be 4 times faster than what it is today. And listen, it is just amazing to see how humans adapt to all those changes and actually evolve thanks to those changes. And the resilience of people that we see around us, just ability to adapt to those changes, and moreover, to embrace those changes and even to accelerate the value creation for the society. It is really inspiring, really inspiring. And time to market for new technology has never been that fast. Listen, every company is becoming a software company, and technology is the driving force of all the changes. The software is eating the world. We all definitely can see that. And the ability to change, ability to adapt and evolve this technology is as critical these days, is actually our human ability to change in parallel at the same time. Some of us, not all of us, not everyone on this webinar, but some of us do remember this time of the monolithic software architecture when any changes in the software required as many efforts as climbing the Mount Everest. Then the cloud era came. We all loved it, bringing so many advantages to all of us, to our lives, scalability, flexibility, ability to work from anywhere, anytime, amazing. However, what we see and observe right now is very different demand for the software. The demand, the expectation of people for the software has changed. Dramatically, 2 things have changed. One, ability to change the software is even bigger than it's been previously. Ability to change really fast. But the second demand is a shortage, huge shortage of technical resources to make any changes in the software. The solution in the new era of the software is no-code platforms with composable architecture. And talking about composable architecture, I love this very simple definition of composable architecture. With composable architecture, you don't develop software. You don't build software. You assemble software. You assemble software. And this is exactly what Creatio is bringing to you today. Composability, the ability to assemble your software with the no-code tools, using all these amazing reusable, replaceable, and scalable components that actually can be easily expanded. And when we talk about these components, there are multiple different types of the components that I would love to dive into. But prior to that, AZ, I know you have a couple of stats that you'd love to share with our audience today.
I would, thank you. I mean, this is just absolutely fascinating. I am one of the folks who's lived through that era with you, and the jury is not out. The verdict is in, right? So if you look at this from Gartner, it's not just that 60% of organizations will be seeking this composability. The next 2 stats were mind-blowing for me, right? It's about, and you think about this, 80% increase in the speed of new feature implementation, the ability to truly, I mean, literally outmaneuver competition, create new markets almost instantaneously. And the result of that being a greater than 2x improvement in revenue. I mean, this is why are you in business to begin with? And if you are not doing this, if you're not already convinced, you will be convinced when you watch everybody blow by you. So this is just an amazing next era, as you said. So it is not an incremental change that we're anticipating. It is a lot more than that.
Right. And we're going to start with the smallest piece of the composable architecture, which we call a component, right? So this is the smallest element. It could be a checkbox. It could be a lookup. It could be a tab. So the smallest piece, which actually needs to be developed by a software developer. So this is actually the only piece of the architecture of Creatio that does need to be developed by a professional software developer. And then we switched to the next level, which we call blocks. So what the blocks are, blocks combine those smallest pieces, those components, they integrate multiple components into a completed piece of functionality. For example, it could be a client card, or it could be the history tab. So it could be any reusable, and this is very, very important, reusable and expandable component that you develop, you assemble from existing components, and then you can share it on the marketplace, and then other people can use it as well. And then we take those blocks and we start combining them and assembling applications out of those blocks. And listen, what we see right now is actually customer 360 application. It could be a case management application. It could be a compliance workflow application. You name it. I can spend this whole hour actually listing all the possible and impossible applications that can be assembled, not developed, not built, assembled by no-code creators, right? And then these applications are being assembled into the products. And again, these products partially are built by Creatio, but we're very, very proud of our partners building their own products using Creatio platform. So an example here would be the Sales Creatio, right? One of the products that probably everyone on this webinar knows. And again, we're saying that the Sales Creatio product, ladies and gentlemen, it won't be developed. It will be assembled out of those ready-to-use components, combined into the blocks, combined into the applications, and combined together into the products. And then those products can be combined into the bundles. And the best example for the Creatio community would be obviously the CRM bundle, right? Which combines sales and marketing and service, all these different products combined together in one single powerful bundle, which has been assembled on the no-code platform with ready-to-use components. I'm going to pause here, Andy, in case you'd like to elaborate, add few words.
Well, I think you nailed it. I mean, with the concept that the only thing coming from the manufacturer, if you will, is that tiniest component. And then, you know, it's kind of like when you were a child with you got the Lego blocks and you could make anything you want. And I always had pieces that I liked and I wanted to continuously reuse. I was always building the best spaceship or whatever it could be. This is the concept of all the things that take technology from being restrictive to enabling. And so now it's really about, can I assemble my vision with all the elements that are always there in front of me? It's astounding.
Let me summarize here. Listen, so we have these smallest pieces called components, and yes, they are developed, traditional software development. We need the best talent, the best technical talent to put those components together. And I shared with many of you already, I'd love to repeat it. We spent the last year, the whole R&D of Creatio, building those multiple dozens and dozens of ready-to-use components using our talented team of software developers. So we have all these components. And then no-coders step in, no-code creators, how we call them, and they start combining them into the blocks. And then these blocks are combined into the applications, and applications combined into the products and bundles. And all of that should be absolutely shared on the marketplace. And all of that is reusable and expandable. Marketplace, Andy.
Well, as you just mentioned, right? So when you once you've assembled all of this amazingness, you want to share it. You need to have an avenue to do that, a vector for both your internal folks, your external partners, and the community at large. And so think of the marketplace as that way to do that in both public and private ways. So that from a select basis, hey, here's something that I think the community could benefit from, that I'd like to put that out there. But here are these blocks or components that I want all of my organization to utilize, because if I needed it, they likely can. And it's just continuously building that acceleration for everyone.
And we've been brainstorming with our partners a lot, because obviously we shared this concept with many of them already. And like they were, okay, I have so many ideas for this real estate components and healthcare components and blocks and reusable blocks that can be then expanded, which is absolutely amazing.
So like any good in marketing, we have proper alliteration here. So we wanted to help you remember what are the real benefits that you're going to get from this. Acceleration is an obvious one that we've been speaking to, and we saw the statistic on this, an 80% increase in speed. I think it's actually going to be more, particularly as this gains steam, because it will only accelerate faster. The agility to pivot your business, to change your idea, to have, as I like to say, the drive into the office idea that can become reality then. This, if you read our book, and I hope you have, also changes the way software gets developed now in real time. And the autonomy here, I like to think about as, again, what I mentioned earlier, having enabling software, being able to decouple from the restrictions and not view your software world as what is the most we can do within the limitations of our environment. And can we actually, you'll hear us talk about freedom. Can we unlock that freedom to now say that is no longer our boundary, and the world in front of us is what we make it, what we assemble it to be. And then the alignment across all of your organizations, your partners, everyone else, to actually see the world, take advantage of this, leverage those reusable components, leverage that brand, and have everything you do be with that single focus in mind of what you're trying to accomplish. So hopefully you'll remember and hold on to these 4 benefits. We will be talking about this throughout the session.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the no-code creators, because that everything we develop, everything we build, this whole concept, that's for you guys. It is for no-code creators. Andy.
Yeah, no. So whether so historically the developer was the creator, and now we're saying they still can be, but this unlocks for everyone. And really, as we see the rise of new powerful members of your organization that are truly enabled to enact their visions. And so this is what we're seeing. We're fueling the rise of these no-code creators for sure. And then that brings us to the final piece again, when I said to vision, right? So we challenge you today, as you see the rest of this presentation, to imagine this brave new world here, where these no-code creators have that absolute freedom to assemble anything they need, business critical apps from all these available components, and again, all without code. I stress this over again because this is the game-changing step into the next generation. And thank you for joining us here to see it live.
And not only imagine, actually, guys, you're going to see it right now live. So Jason and Alex are going to be showing it to you live, how exactly it all works with composable architecture, okay?
This is just wrapping up that vision. When we talk about that, imagine, here are just a sample of the complex apps that we've talked about, everything from sales automation, but think beyond the CRM world. Think like banking and lending, or your product teams and managing their life cycles, all the way through HR and employee life cycle. Every single group inside of your organization has an area that they need and want to change, to automate, to evolve, to get a competitive edge, whether it be hiring or finance or supply chain, not just sales, marketing, and service, who always are looking for that edge.
Listen, and I can't wait to start showing the audience what actually we're talking about. Jason, please take it from here. You are the biggest evangelist of our no-code playbook. Would you like to start here?
Yeah, and thank you, Catherine, and thank you, Andy and team. I think that introducing these new topics that go on top of the things that we're already talking about in the No Code Playbook is amazing. I think there's a lot of opportunity. If you haven't had a chance yet to download a copy of the No Code Playbook, please click on the QR code that's in your lower right-hand side. You're going to have the ability to read about a lot of the things that we're going to talk about today. But not only are we talking about them, we're going to showcase them today. And let's start by asking a question. How would you expect composable solutions to improve your business? And I encourage you, answer this in the chat. And we're going to talk about some of this as we go through today. How do you think that having ready-to-use components will help you accelerate, will help you with your agility as you move through solving business problems in your organization? And as we move through, we're going to give you an overview of the new 8.0.6 release, which is available today. And you're going to get a chance to look at a few different things. We're going to talk about three major areas. We're going to talk about composable architecture. We're going to talk about enhancements to the Freedom UI and the Freedom Desktop. And we're going to talk about some of the additional changes that we've made in the no-code platform. So I'd like to bring in Alex Petronenko. He is our product evangelist. Welcome, Alex.
Jason, it is my absolute pleasure to join this event and to be the tour guide of our audience into the new era of the design of enterprise business applications. And Catherine gave us an excellent overview of the composable approach to building these applications. So today I would like to talk a little bit more about what is the new day-to-day is going to look like for no-code creators, for citizen developers, and enthusiasts alike that are going to be building applications using no-code Creatio platform. So let's deep dive into the use case that we're going to be having a look at today, where first of all, we want to take into a look of the customer onboarding application. We're going to follow a couple of simple steps, right, where we're going to be reusing and pre-uploading a Customer 360 application, right, the first no-code composable app that has been already delivered on top of Creatio. We're going to then make a few changes, right? Enhance it from the end user experience based on our use case. We're going to then build a new application using only composable elements. And then we're going to look into the end results of how it all going to play out together. So let's get started, right? And let's jump into the first step. As we mentioned, right, the Customer 360 is the first no-code application following the composable approach that has been delivered on top of our platform. It is an absolutely amazing product that has been actually developed by no-coders only and already reuses some of the composable elements that we mentioned, the attachments area, the feed area, the timeline, the customer profile, and many others, down to the very bottom of validated inputs of web addresses, the primary phones, right? And all of the other great stuff that deliver this amazing application to our customers, right? To our end users. But then, of course, right, if we think about forward and we move forward, anytime that we are talking about the design of a new application, right, there's going to be some changes that you're going to have to make. So let's go to the next step, right? And let's talk about making changes. Now, as Creatio has always believed in taking ownership by our customers of our platform, we straight away can build on top and extend, override what has been delivered, as we call out of the box. And this is where we can actually as well enhance the experience by introducing additional components, right? That's going to be the visual progress bar of the account lifecycle or customer lifecycle that is going to be going through the onboarding lifecycle. So this is where, right, with just a one drag and drop motion, we can add our dynamic case management framework to the screen, right? And within just a couple of configurations, make it fully enabled, right? Make it fully workable, not having to spend time of going through lengthy development process, or even as previously, right, a more extended configuration approach. So just like that, in a couple seconds, we've got our progress bar added to an already available composable Customer 360 application. So what is going to be next, right? As we go to the following usual lifecycle of design of applications, right, we would definitely need to talk about building new applications. right? We would need to talk about how we're going to be designing the verifications and approvals, right? A component of this customer onboarding app. And let's go there. So let's assume that we've got some of our base data model already outlined, right? We've got some of the general settings, and we actually want to start introducing our components. Similar to the Account 360, right? We're going to be reusing our progress bar and DCMs to provide a visual cue to the end user on how they're going to be progressing from one step in the life cycle to another, right? And again, because the whole approach of composability is reusability of inputs, of components, of applications, of blocks, and then of course products into bundles, allows us to reuse these elements across all of the different applications and all of the different screens that we're going to be building, which is again going to familiarize, is going to deliver a consistent experience, not just to the end user, but as well to the no-code creator. Now let's look at some of the other components that we will be adding to our verifications and approvals. Well, from there, right, we of course want to provide a little bit more of an overview onto who's going to be the account that we're going to be onboarding, right? In this case, by using the layout elements that we can fully control and we can as well visualize, we can then add our composable account card to the screen. This is what is part of the account profile block that we're then just simply reusing to provide a high level understanding of who the customer is, right? Again, with just a couple of drag and drop motions, we now have a visual representation of the account, and we're going to see it all play together again during the runtime, during the execution of the apps. But then moving forward, right, if we're talking about a little bit more of a visualizing of the SLAs, right, and deadlines that are very crucial and critical for many SLA-driven roles, as we call them, want to as well bring forward the timer, right? What is going to be the countdown towards our deadline for our end user? So again, previously, it could be taking a little bit of time to make this work, but now based on very thoughtful work of our developers that were building this component, we've got a very straightforward set of settings that we need to follow, right? Making sure that we, of course, are providing the best end user experience that are going to be working with this application. So just like that, right, by using the same approach of composability, right, following very dynamic user settings, we've got our timer on the screen, giving us our SLA-driven role, a very clear definition of where we're going next. And from there, of course, we want to as well talk about the approvals, right? The name of the app or the name of the section speaks for itself, verification approvals. So this is where previously or with other products, you have to go through a lengthy design process of getting the data model, including to the structure of the applications that you're using. With Creatio, it is as simple as 2 slides over. Because the idea behind it is that the application will be generating all of the structure and dependencies between all of these components and apps that you're building automatically, having the no-code creator not to even think about it, right? They only design the layout, they only design the end user experience, and the platform is going to deliver the rest of it for them automatically. And just to move to the next area, right? Well, again, there's going to be the simple rearrangement of the screen to make it a little bit more user-friendly, right? But in just a couple of seconds, our view of the approvals is going to be added to our layout. And just to finalize some of the areas of the design that we're going to be following, right? We want to as well be able to actually add the timeline view, right? The chronological order of all of the steps and items that were completed. This doesn't require any effort at all. Just add a new tab, add a new area where you want your timeline to be displayed. And just like that, you've got your history of the life cycle of this specific onboarding added. And this is literally it. Building applications using the composable approach has never been easier with Creatio or with any other no-code local platform whatsoever. This is definitely going to change the way that we think about building of or assembly of applications. And I love this new term, right? This is definitely going to change the way how businesses think about their business critical applications that they're using on a daily basis. So let's have a look at what would be the end result, right? Let's move to the step 4 of our process. This is our slightly upgraded and updated Customer 360, focusing only on most critical and crucial aspects of the onboarding process. We've got our new area for verifications and approvals. And from there on, we've got a beautiful interface that is already enriched with all of the components of the UI, with our timers, right, with our profiles, with our progress bars, with our approvals, with our timelines, attachments, feeds, and everything that make the end user experience so great when working with Creatio as their primary business application on their day-to-day activities. So Jason, this is the process. Tell me what you think.
I think that is super simple, and it's funny when I look at this and I think about where our application has come from and where it's at today and where we're going in the future. It's providing those no-code creators the ability to sit as part of a Fusion team and help accelerate development activities to solve those pain points and those business problems. Absolutely amazing. Appreciate you showing this, Alex.
Absolutely. And of course, the whole idea here that all of these components are multi-purpose, right? They're purpose-based, so they can be reused in many different use cases. You're literally not tied to a use case. They've been built by our teams and by our partners, specifically having the flexibility in mind, right? Not having been tied to a specific use case, right? A specific way of using it. Make it very flexible, right? Make it all in, just so that you can be building your screens and building your apps ultimately in any way or form that you think of. But let's move to the next slide, right? Let's summarize a little bit towards what we've seen from the use case perspective, right? But kind of decomposing it into what has been introduced. First of all, the platform composability, right? Of course, Creatio has been very flexible on the design of the applications, but now with the introduction of the composability approach, we're making the next step into this era. We then, of course, are highlighting the library of components. Of course, sorry, the ready to go composable applications, where we have introduced the very first composable application for Customer 360, right? That is going to be available for all of our customers and partners to be used straight away. And of course, this first composable app has been designed fully by no coders without a single line of code whatsoever. And I can sign my name under this statement. Then let's move to the next step, right? The library of components. This is something that we've been expanding on over some time, right? This is where introducing more input elements, more components that could be easily reused. And this is going to be the focus moving forward, to provide the ability of reusing a variety of different options when building applications, right? To provide our partners with the ability of actually building and creating their own components using our framework, just so that they can as well accelerate the design of their own application. They can provide additional value to all of the customers that they're going to be working with and all of the customers in Creatio family. Now, business rules. Of course, the beautiful applications that we're creating cannot be just static. They have to be dynamic. This is where we have fully reimagined some of the business rules that govern the way that the end users are working with these applications, completely changing the user experience of designing these business rules altogether, right? Completely changing the way that we're approaching the idea of having a dynamic application, dynamic UI, and dynamic behavior of the screen. And of course, last but not least, from the perspective of the updates that we have been introducing, was of course the new control over the layout, right, and the behavior settings. From the fact that you can now have a fully white labeled, right, or close to fully white labeled screens with all of the beautiful highlightings, right, with all of beautiful stylings. Of course, there's even more end user experience involved, providing them hints, providing them visual cues into different areas that they need to be working with. And this, of course, altogether combined is definitely going to be changing the way that our end users, partners, customers that we so much love are going to be working with Creatio. And we're hoping to receive all of the feedback after our customers are going to start using these new composable apps so we can make them even better.
Alex, I think that's amazing. It's an amazing set of tools that you're providing to those no-code creators and really helping enhance that composable architecture. Thank you very much for that overview. Let's
My pleasure,
transition
Jason.
for a second. Yeah, let's transition for a second. Let's talk about the second major piece that we're excited to launch today as part of the 8.0.6 launch, and that's in the Freedom UI enhancements. Now, the first thing I'd like to introduce you to is your new Freedom Desktop. The Freedom Desktop is meant to be a initial starting point, providing you with that place where people can launch the various composable applications as well as work with the Creatio system. It is the one place that'll give you the most current and relevant information and allow you to launch into your other composable apps. On top of that, we also have this enhanced Freedom Desktop experience, which brings together this new Freedom UI theme and layout and beautiful visuals. You get to select from a library of images. You also have that additional layer that gives you the different, or the ability to make those different views for those user profiles, which is absolutely a beautiful thing, and it provides a wonderful user experience. The Freedom UI and UX sections that we've added over the last couple of releases have culminated in an absolute amazing set of pieces that are in the out-of-the-box Creatio instance. Whether it's a variety of new elements for different data types, editable lists, as you can see here. We're also talking about extended columns and setup capabilities and improving a lot of the folders and dashboard capabilities that are already available with the Creatio product. I also would like to bring attention to the new Freedom UI Mobile. If you have an 8.0.6 application, you are now available today to download the 8.0.6 application from your marketplace. I downloaded it this morning and it looks amazing. You see an example of it here. That new experience within the mobile app already has the ability. You can get the Customer 360 app there. But again, it's available today, so I encourage you to go check that out. Now, Alex, I want to bring you back in for a minute, and let's talk a little bit more about some of the stuff kind of on the back that no-code creators are going to be able to use to really help drive and accelerate some of their business processes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, well, of course, we need to keep in mind that we don't just focus on what is on the outside, right? How do we build these applications? But we definitely focus on what is on the inside, in the core of the platform. And of course, this is where we have been thinking about how do we make the already very simple process of building processes on top of our Creatio platform even simpler, right? Even more streamlined and natural, right? And native. And this is where we've included an AI-assisted development capability supported by our machine learning models that will be helping the no-code creator and the citizen developer that are building the processes in accelerating the whole design time to a maximum, right? Just so that they can already use suggested elements with some of the pre-installed settings for those elements with just another single, swiping motion, right? And of course, this is going to help them deliver the processes even almost as fast as they're going to be building the applications on their own. So we're again having high hopes into the ability of using all of this together with the composable approach. Now, from there, we're talking about no-code integrations, right? Expanding the capability of no-code creators to connect their business application of Creatio together with the rest of their application, their ecosystem, right? With the ability of reusing web service templates through process engines, right? With the ability of building webhooks to landing pages and soon to other applications. And of course, reusing the integrations with Azure Blob Storage for minimizing the database structure, everything that is going to make the life of these no-code creators much, much easier when it gets to governance, rights to management of the applications and creating a unified, consistent ecosystem of applications within their businesses. But from there on, right, of course, there's a lot of goodies that have been included into the release for more advanced users of the platform. And this is where we're talking about the governance and the development capabilities. We always have the professional developers, right, more technical users in mind when improving and working on the updates to the platform. This is where with the release, we're introducing extended ALM capabilities, more tools for developers to manage the dependencies between the packages, and of course, the additional features of building different components that are going to be introduced on the platform. All of this proves the fact that Creatio is not just about the end user, not just about the no-code creator, but all of the different types of users that are working with the platform, from small to big, or as we see them, all equal, actually. And just a couple of more things, right? A few slides, I believe, that I've got left. The strategic roadmap. Now, we always have the future in mind when we're building our applications, or we're always thinking about how do we improve our product. And what we've released and are presenting to you today is only the beginning, right? This is where we are going to be as well, thinking about the future of our product. With Creatio 8.1 that is targeted to be released in April 2023, we're going to be introducing CRM products in composable architecture, having the same approach of building products, right, and dissecting all of our products together into these composable applications that can be then rebundled, right, that can be then actually reassembled into very unique products and to very unique applications that our customers need, right? We, of course, are going to be extending the library of components that are going to be used across a variety of different use cases, right? This is where we, of course, are going to be always thinking about the advanced no-code development capabilities, introducing the ability of delivering very sophisticated applications within a huge variety of complexities behind those applications by no coders, right? Allowing the professional development to focus on creation of those composable elements and components that can be then used by no coders back. And then, of course, there's going to be a lot of new and great updates that are going to be coming in your way. So stay tuned to our release notes, stay tuned to our product updates, and we're hoping that you're going to love them all like we do.
So, Alex, let me ask you a question. You've been working on this platform for 15 plus years now.
Over 10, yeah.
Yeah, it's a while. As we've continued to migrate and we've continued to add all these great enhancements, I'm going to ask a question to the audience here in just a couple of minutes. But what are some of the things you're most excited about that you've seen added to the platform as part of this 8.0.6 release?
Well, honestly, in more than 10 years, 8.0.6 has been my favorite release so far, right? Everything that we're releasing with this, I would say, age of our product has been incredible. Starting with the Freedom UI that totally blows my mind when I'm thinking about it. And big shout out to research and development for black and white theme of the desktop. Absolutely amazing, right? To the composability approach and the way that we've extended the no-code creation of applications. This is absolutely fantastic, in my opinion.
I want to step in here as well. And listen, this is by far my favorite release as well. And I literally can't wait what's going to happen in April. Like the Freedom UI is mind blowing. We already have Customer 360 app available in this Freedom UI. Like I know how much our customers and our partners would love it.
That's awesome. So for everyone that's out there today, your free trial of 8.0.6 is waiting. Go out there, download it, click on the QR code. You have the ability to get this now. Now, what does that mean? That means you have the ability to start testing, to start working with the Customer 360 app. So I encourage you to go get that today. And ultimately, if you have questions, reach out. We're happy to answer those questions. We have a dedicated team of professionals around the world to help showcase some of these great features and available composable components within the application. So I want to transition now. So we've talked about composable architecture. We've talked about enhancements to Freedom UI. And I want to bring in Mr. Donchik. And Alex, as we come in today, there's a whole additional piece that's out there to think about, and that's marketplace extensions and building composable apps and releasing them to the marketplace. So Alex, why don't you talk to us a little bit about this, and we can kind of see how this is going to go.
Thank you, Jason. I don't know if you've seen from the camera, but I was so excited during this release from the first minute, because today we're releasing incredible new masterpiece, a piece of art to our clients and our partners to have in front of them during the operational work. But talking about marketplace, it's great to be part of this release here. And first of all, I would like to say that's amazing to see so many of our partners in attendance across the globe who actually are helping us to contribute to our marketplace. But to begin with, I have some great news to share, that this fabulous release of Studio in the new UI has got the ability to install and create composable applications today. And it's an incredible opportunity for our partners to start creating many new apps and bring new composable apps to our ecosystem, to our clients and our partners. And we're already growing on those numbers because in the last 8 months, just 8 months, we've created more than 90 applications that were created by our partners. Right now, I want to double, triple the pace of creating them. But at the same time, we continue to see the increase in our customer engagement with our marketplace. And I'm very pleased to say that 62% of our existing customers are using marketplace applications, and with average 6 apps per customer. But what is important is that this transition to the new composable architecture, we want each and every client of Creatio to actively benefit from the marketplace solutions created by our partners. And if you are new to Creatio Marketplace, let me bring quickly a couple of vivid examples of apps that may be of interest for you and extend the functionality of our solutions. For example, let's look at the Deliver Operational Excellence. And if you have tons of digital documents to manage, or your document libraries are not fully structured, have a quick look at DocFlow app by our partner Confero. Or if you need to preview, if you would like to create versioning or online co-edit files, we have a great new app, File Extension. Or for example, the third one, if you're striving for the business excellence and you keep changing existing workflows in your organization, you need to keep track of changes and approval of those changes. Approval process management could be interest of yours. We've got tons of different connectors. If you've got SharePoint 365, if you got OneDrive, we've covered that all. We have all the connectors on our marketplace. And basically, we have a list of all these useful connectors with the most popular external storages facilities that extend our products. If we talk about the customer efficiency, yeah, the Rockstar, the chat master that allows you to go with the advanced omnichannel chats management within the organization and extends the out-of-the-box functionality and connects Creatio to 18 different communication channels. If you like to connect with your telephony, we have a very cool app. So full-blown inbound and outbound with the AI-based agent that is scoring each and every call, giving you the analytics. It practically makes every single call of your organization to the A-class standard. And we have recently released a cool app to simplify the work of the customer service team by providing ready-to-use answers to the frequently asking questions and the best path on how to find the right answer once working and delivering the customer service to your clients. Service Catalog and other cool apps. So we really would like to invite you into this world of marketplace and have a look how we can increase the customer experience. Right, to boost revenue functions, very excited to share with you the update that right now we have a new offering that has been strengthened with a new product landing connector. So now Creatio has an integration with this solution, and the more interesting fact that right now you can truly see and create these pages out of the system with this connection and high converting pages in few literally clicks, and collect all the lead data right from Creatio and converting them into Creatio objects like leads, opportunities, etc. The scoring app will allow you to set up different kind of calculations on scoring and rating based on your business model and any specific model that your company uses today. And if you're sending bulk emails, if you're sending short messages or using WhatsApp, we have it also all kept. But interesting other thing, and I will briefly mention that, if you want to know more about the leads that your marketing team is submitting to you today, Matoma gives you the possibility to collect detailed reports from your website and its visitors, including the search engines and keywords that they're being using, the languages they speak, the pages they like, so you can see and track everything this from Creatio with the help of this integration. And yeah, your marketing team will always rely on the right results. Yeah, thanks, Jason. We got a ton of different connectors that make the integration with any other application in your infrastructure smooth and fast. Here you can see some of the popular ones like connector with Zoom. We have Teams, Power BI, Outlook, Jira, Amazon Connect. But I can say for sure and with confidence, that today we have connectors for all necessary categories of systems, from telephony to ERP. But the most important slide, and the thing I would like to address it to our partners, that by leading partnerships here at Creatio, I would like to strongly address this message to our ecosystem today, since with this new release, we have way more opportunities to create products, applications, blocking components with the speed of light. By having these reusable components and blocks from your even existing projects, you can convert them to the marketplace offerings immediately and offer them to all our ecosystem, to thousands of our clients and our partners. And with the new architecture, you can become really those magicians by launching new solutions to your clients, Creatio, within the shortest period of time that the market has never seen before. And again, for our clients, please feel to use this QR code to find more information about more than 400 applications that can boost your operational efficiency and drive you to the excellence today. Please visit them. Jason, passing the floor back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you to everyone. It has been an amazing 50 minutes that we've spent together talking about this wonderful release that the R&D team and the Creatio family has put together. So I want to take a moment, and we're going to put a poll up. Which of the showcase capabilities are you most excited about? And some of the things you may want to think about: the composable architecture, the Freedom UI capabilities, the no-code platform updates, maybe it's marketplace, all of the above. Tell us. We want to hear from you. It's with all of those things that we think back past this on this last hour, and we sit there and say thank you to everyone that's involved across the globe, to our R&D team, to our leadership team, to our sales teams, to our no-code evangelists, and to our partners especially. Thank you for all of the things that you do for us here at Creatio. I hope you've enjoyed the last 50 minutes of time. I hope you've gotten a lot out of this. We look forward to seeing you back very soon. For our customers and for our partners, we will take a short break, and we will have a dedicated session for a deeper dive. So we ask you, go refill your coffee, and we'll see you back soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.